It's a gorgeous day here in Franklin, Tennessee for some final round action in the Mason Rudolph Championship. Vanderbilt, the host team, looking for a fifth straight team title with a 10-stroke lead heading into Sunday's final round, but certainly some teams hoping to chase them down before we wrap up this evening. I'm Jake Lyman. Josh Shelton will be with me throughout the remainder of our broadcast today. All 75 golfers going to come through 18 before we are done. But Josh, so far it's been a fun 2 days here at Vanderbilt Legends Golf Club. Vandy got out to a big lead. It shrunk, but the Commodore is able to pull away at the end of day 2.
Absolutely. Hey, that course knowledge is really paying off so far for the Vanderbilt Commodores. Playing well, 10-stroke lead. While it seems like a lot in that team competition, that can shrink very quickly.
Certainly so. Ole Miss, a top 5 team in the country, just 10 strokes back, and with those 4 scores that go in, it can certainly shrink in a hurry. Vanderbilt's great play has been started by their 2 at the top of the individual leaderboard. Jackson Van Paris, 7 under through 2 rounds, and he had a great approach on 18 yesterday. Just missed a chance at an eagle. Yeah,
can't be too bad about a 10-foot or a tap-in birdie on 18. That's a good way to get your round started. I know Jackson Van Paris wanted that one to fall, but hey, you'll take that tap-in birdie.
Gordon Sargent, after a dominant day on Friday, some struggles yesterday. He had a triple bogey on the front 9. Here he missed left, but still able to get up and down and finish -9 heading into the final day.
Yeah, got a little bit of a lucky break with the putting it right into that tent. Got a nice drop over there. Was able to work with what he had there, being able to putt it down and then get a chance to tap in and make an easy par and move on to the final round with still having his lead.
Sargent now 5 straight rounds in this tournament where he has finished the day with the lead. He led wire to wire all of last year on his way to a championship, trying to become the second golfer ever to win 2 Mason Rudolph Championships. As we see that individual scoreboard here, Sargent and Van Paris at the top. But keep an eye on Owen Stamper with MTSU and Kai Meeks for Ole Miss. They've had a great weekend so far and certainly could close that gap throughout today's round.
Yeah, Kai, one of the best players in the country right now, and Owen Stamper making a case as well. That MTSU team, very strong, and seeing if they can finish strong here in the final round as well.
Looking at the team leaderboard through 2 rounds, we mentioned Vanderbilt with that 10-stroke lead. Ole Miss, number 5 in the country. They are 10 strokes back. MTSU, the only other team under par, but certainly a lot of room for movement as we are certainly early in day 3 so far.
Yeah, you can see Furman already 5 under today. Alabama making their case as well as a strong SEC team. We'll see how close this leaderboard is as we get throughout the rest of the day.
As we look at the pairings that we'll see come through 18 throughout our broadcast. 2 of these have already made their way through 18. We'll get to those in a second. But looking at these first 3 groups, Wells Williams and Patton Samuels have played great so far this weekend. Excited to see them come through in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, Patton Samuels, a strong player from Clarksville, Tennessee, just about an hour and a half north. Very strong player and showing that again this weekend.
Those South Alabama, Vanderbilt B, and the individuals going to play first here through 18. Then coming up, Northern Illinois, Ball State, Cincinnati. I know you're familiar with the Ball State squad. They've had themselves a solid week so far.
Absolutely. Very familiar with that team. Mike Fleck, he's been there a long time, 26 years at the helm at Ball State and coaching another strong team.
Then coming up after that, Furman, the College of Charleston, and Kentucky. Charleston is certainly a great team in Kentucky. Alex Goff, one of the top players in the SEC. Excited to see him come through.
Yeah, Kentucky also got that Vanderbilt connection. Gator Todd taking over his first year as the head coach for the Wildcats. Has a lot of course knowledge out here at the Legends Club.
Getting to come right back to Vanderbilt in his first year with the Wildcats. Then after that, we haven't mentioned the top 10 team in Alabama. A slow start on Friday, but they certainly made a run yesterday. Could see them start to move up the leaderboard throughout today's round.
Yeah, already through 3 holes, 1 under. I would expect that number to keep dropping, rising. We see the Alabama team rising up in that leaderboard.
And then we talked about those 3 teams under par heading into our final round. The host team, that is Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, and MTSU are going to be our final groupings through here. And you look at that Vanderbilt squad. We mentioned Sargent and Van Paris, but Mole, Sherwood, and Riedel, all seniors, certainly going to make it tough on other teams to come and catch the Commodores today.
A lot of strong teams right up there, a lot of strong players right there in that Vanderbilt top 10s, top 20s throughout the rankings wherever you're looking.
Excited to see those final few groups come through. We mentioned that last group, Sargent, Meeks, and Stamper going to be our final grouping of the day through 18. Let's look at this 18th hole, a par 5 finish here on the South Course, 522 yards. Josh, this is played as the easiest hole in the course through these first 2 rounds, but certainly some areas you could get into trouble.
Absolutely. Hey, it's a fun finishing hole. You want to have a nice reachable par 5. You want to be able to walk off 18 and say, hey, well, at least I made birdie, so you can come back and play next time. But these guys, they're looking for more than birdie. They're going to find themselves somewhere about 240 to 200 yards out, depending on how far they're hitting it. Gordon Sargent going to be a little bit further past a lot of these guys. But as you see there on that right side, everything is funneling towards the water on this hole. Your tee shot, your approach shot, your putts, everything's going towards the water. And that's where things can get out of hand quick if you're trying to take this right pin location on today.
Yeah, that front right pin location. We were out there on the green a little bit earlier. Things are going to funnel in that direction, but the issue is you're going to have some slippery downhill putts to try and get birdie, save par, or maybe get an eagle today.
Yeah, the safe miss is over to the left, but even if you make that safe play there, it's not a safe shot coming down that second when you're trying to go for that 3rd, 4th, 5th shots.
We talked to head coach Scott Limbaugh of Vanderbilt earlier this week. He said you're going to see plenty of 3s. You're probably going to see some 7s on 18 throughout today's broadcast as well.